Hi, folks. We're back again, and it's a beautiful Sunday because guess what? It's not raining for a change. Um, I wanted to talk to you real quick about fellowship and a relationship that is different than being behind a screen or playing in a game room. And even though you're watching this and watching me right now, I would rather that at this point today, sometime that you find a church and go in fellowship. My grandfather, who lived to be 100, said, Darla, I don't care what church you go to, but you have to have God in your life. And he told me that because I asked him, Grandpa, how do you make your marriage work? He had a marriage of over 50 years. Yeah, they were together until she died first. I'm going to turn the camera around so that you guys can see more than just my face. You can see how beautiful it is out here. Now, I'm not here to preach. I'm here to say that there's more to life than sitting behind a screen. And I'm not saying that you yourself are just sitting behind a screen and you do nothing else, because I don't even know who's watching this, honestly. But I am saying that we as a human race, for the most part, desire human contact and relationships. And I call it fellowship. Other people call it fellowship, but you can call it whatever you want. But the fact is that we enjoy other people, and we have forgotten that. COVID was really bad about separating us as human beings and taking us away from the workplace, from the schoolhouse, from the churches, getting us alone and by ourselves. And it's caused a lot of great depression. Depression is like from what I understand, don't quote me, but at an all-time high. And I just can't help but wonder if us being segregated as a human race has something to do with it. So things are getting better now. We're getting out there, and we're doing more as a race. We're getting races. We're getting out there and going to restaurants and dances or whatever people do. But we need to have a spiritual awakening as well. And it can only be between you and your God. No one person can do that for you. You have to have it yourself. And sometimes people find that in a church. Sometimes they find it going for a walk and talking to their God. Our church on Sunday, we have what's called Family Sunday. One Sunday, the last Sunday of the month, we get together and everybody brings something to eat, and it's called a potluck in breaking bread. And we sit down and you get to know other people that you otherwise probably wouldn't know or know something about. And it can be really fascinating what a person's life has been like in comparison to yours. Talk about mind altering. When you find out something about somebody that you never would have guessed, and you're very impressed or elated or maybe even disappointed, it's worth your time. It's worth that moment in time. But more importantly, it's that relationship that you need to find yourself with your God. Personally, I go to a Pentecostal church. I like the uplifting of it. I like the fellowship. You get in there, you sing. And some people, if they feel like dancing because they just feel the Holy Ghost, that's what they do. Other churches are a little bit more subdued. Some are very ritualistic. But if you want, any suggestions, if you don't know what you're doing and you've never been to a church, just start choosing ones. Talk to your God. Some people call it praying, but you can just have a conversation, and just between you and your God, and just you'll figure out where to go. And if you have to go to different churches before you find your fit, there's nothing wrong with that either. It really gives you an idea what's out there, and it's pretty cool, actually. I wish everybody the best here. I feel like I'm forgetting something that I really wanted to say. I will tell you that it will be completely mind altering once you find your space. If you want to start off with something that's non-denominational, meaning it's not, a specific religion like, say, Catholicism or Mormonism or something like that. There's Calvary Chapel, and that's non-denominational. There's other non-denominationals, some pretty if you it, there's churches that are a little bit more on the quieter side, and there's those that are, more exciting. You have to find your niche, and then that's between you again and your God. But I hope you find that fellowship that so many of us are craving. It doesn't have to be your parents' church. It doesn't have to be your grandparents' church. This is your life. If you're an adult, you're over 18, find your space. All right, folks. I hope you have a great Sunday, and until next time, bye.